Hey YouTube, it's Nia from Body Royalty. I know it's probably been a few months since I've updated a video, but I do want to share something that I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. It's a home budget sheet, but you can tailor it to include your business, your soaping business or whatever business you have going. So it's for those that like to have control of their sheets, or those that don't want to pay $200 for QuickBooks or need to save up to purchase all the products at one time. Whatever the case may be, you can do something like this. This is not a tutorial. I'm not going to show you step by step on how to do it, but I want to show you, this is an example of how your sheets could come out or look like. So let's get started. So I have the master budget sheet. Our original sheet included the month, the home, and the amount. So those are mandatory. I did add business and amount, so I can show you that you can add it to one sheet or you can do a separate form. Once you fill this out, I did make business or amount required because even though you may pay a bill, you may not purchase anything. So why make it a requirement? And then submit. I also want to show you how you can do a sales sheet, keep track of your sales and the amount. So of course month is mandatory, and then you have your products, gels, lotions, scrubs, the scents, the amount, and the quantity. Again, you can tailor this to your needs. Once you hit submit, it will your responses will go towards the sheet, and I will show you in just a moment. So what'll happen is, like, when I do this, the business amount or the business category and the amount it'll show on the form, but it hasn't been filtered because I just want to show you that you can set this up. So the example that I'm going to show you is for home, because the business and the amount for the business is not linked. So we'll do the month of November. We'll just do car. We'll do 800. Now, if I'm paying 800, it better be 2 cars or a Lexus or a BMW. But if that's the case, even though we probably could afford it, it's crazy. I'm not pay that much for a car. And then let's say we went to Brambleberry and we bought $100 worth of stuff. You hit submit. Once you hit submit, say thank you, and then you will go and bring up your sheet if you wanted to. But the form is really for those that are on the road and want to, say, hey, I was at Walmart and I paid my rent and it was $700. You could just access it on your phone and submit it that way. And then depending on your formulas, it will be filtered. So once you hit submit, it will go to the master sheet. This is where all your submissions go. So unfortunately, I don't have my sales sheets linked because that was just a sample I wanted to show you. So you have the date, the time, and the categories. How I filter my stuff when I break it down monthly is by the month. And then of course you have the amount, like Bramble and the amount. I have 2 different amounts because I want to keep it separate. I want this first amount for my home, second amount for my business, and then you can filter it however you want to. So once that happens, I have it filtered to a breakdown, and I will go over this in just a moment, but I do want to show you that you don't have to enter it. It automatically is filtered for that. So let's go over the sheet. So you have the income, you have checks, actual, additionals, total. Up top, you have budget, actual, difference. And then here is the month that we get paid. I get paid every 2 weeks. He gets paid weekly. So down here, we actually have what we budgeted that we're going to actually get for the month. Of course, it could change, but this is what we're budgeting based off of previous statements. Once you input that, it'll tally up the total. So $33.40 is what we're looking at for the month of November. Once we figure out the total month that we're budgeting for, then we can go ahead and break it down and divide it amongst our bills and savings. So first, we start off with our play money, and that is right here. Now, I know it may seem a little high, but we work hard, so we like to play hard. So we figure $400 a piece. There you go with that $800 car note. Why do that and be broke and not have any play money when we have a nice car and we're able to do that? So it's not like one check. We budget $400 a piece. We actually break it down to where we each get $100 every week. So once we pay ourselves, because that's important, then we go to the expenses. We budget everything, groceries, laundries. We budget what we're going to spend. And then once we do that, then whatever is left over, we go to our savings. So our main savings is emergency, car, and Dr. Pepper. Our dog has her own savings. That way we're not taking from my other savings. We're not taking from my other bills. She has her own for food. We got to do doctor's visits, surgeries, whatever the case may be. She has her own money. And of course, we keep track of previous month's balance. Anytime we have to withdraw, the current balance for the month, and then that's our ending balance. Whatever the ending balance is for November will be the previous balance for December. So that's how you can kind of keep track. We haven't set a goal yet because this is the first month we're doing it. So at the end of the month, I'll update a video and show you the outcome for the month. So once you budget that, if you have anything left over down here, then the remaining amount can go towards your other savings. They are important, but they're not as important as your main savings. But you always want your total for the budget column to have a zero balance. You want your money to have a purpose. You should not have anything left over. You should not just like, oh, I got $5. Let's just have it sit there. No. We have our bill account where all of our money that we get from work goes into the account. And then we pay ourselves, we put things in saving, or we pay our bills and then we put things in savings. So if we're not paying bills out of that account, we put the cards away. He has his own personal, I have my own personal. So that way, if I don't want to carry $400, I can put it in my account and just swipe. And then we're not swiping out of the bill account and then we're in a hole, or we have rough draft, is it rough draft? Because I can't pay whatever that $30 charge is, So our main account is for bills only. We only have one savings. It's no point in having 10,000 savings, even though technically we have 6 savings here. But if we're able to put this amount actually in, then $557.57 is going to be the total amount in the account. But we will at least keep track of the breakdown for the $557. So it's not like $557 and we don't know where it's supposed to go towards. So if an emergency comes up out of that $557.57, $307.57 is for emergency. Whether I lose my job or something happens and he gets sick and he doesn't have sick time. If we needed it, we can dip into the emergency funds or whatever the case may be. So we will always keep track of the amounts and split it up amongst the savings that it's supposed to. So that's how that goes. And then we are going also by the envelope system. So we have grocery, laundry, and gas. If we don't use up the whole amount for gas, we just keep it in the envelope and we just add to it for the month, and we just strictly make that for gas, laundry. Like we just did laundry Sunday and I had $10 left over, so $9 or $10. So that's in the envelope, and then out of each check we'll be contributing something. So once you're at a zero balance, then you can start looking at your checks to see what bills you need to pay out of the check. We try to pay the whole amount. And then I forgot the coach's name on YouTube, but he says to pay on time or pay early. So for instance, rent is due on the 1st. you have until the 3rd or 4th before late charge, but you have up until the 10th. Well, if rent is due on the 1st, our first check is not until the 6th. So unfortunately, our last 2 checks in October is going to pay for November's rent. But we still have the budget because December 1st. And where's my calendar? I think the first check in December for us is December 4th. Technically, we could pay it, but it will be late. So the last 2 checks in November will pay for December 1st. You know, technically on the 25th, I could take out the whole, pay the whole rent. But why do that when there are other things that we have to pay? If we can split it up, if it's a huge bill and we can split it up, then we'll try to split it up. But if nothing else is coming out of that check, then we can just pay the whole rent. But unfortunately, his health insurance is also coming due. So if we pay the whole $700 some, he can't pay his health insurance. So we don't do it like that. We split it up. He's able to pay his health insurance, and then we have our play money. So that's how that works. So if you have to split it up, you just have to split it up. There's, no way around it. The peach color fill-in just lets me know that part of the check is spoken for, and then the purple fill-in lets me know that budget amount has been accounted for. So if you see it's filled, that means that over here we've accounted for it out of one of the 6-7 checks that are coming in. And then once you get to the actual column, I haven't figured out a way for Google to recognize dates to where I can add it to the form. That way we don't have to constantly come to the laptop and fill it out. We can just submit it through our forms, and then it'll update automatically. But until then, we'll just have to make it, we'll have to input it manually, which is fine. So once all that happens, then it'll go to the actual column. And then, any additionals, like I may get an income tax check, it'll go there. And then the totals. So you take, and the difference is the actual from the budget. And so, like for instance, the car. Here's the car. We budgeted $329.67, which is our actual car note. That's why I said one of the consistent payments is the car note. But for god awful reason, that looks like 2 car notes. So somehow we were behind, and there's probably some late charges. So we'll just say $800 is what we submitted for. That means we was under budget, $470.33. Where's that coming from? I mean, technically, one of us may not be getting our little play money, but you can also take it out of, take the whole 307 emergency, the $100 in the car, part of Dr. Pepper, because you budgeted $329, you pay $800. One of your expenses or your savings is going to be affected. So you're not going to be able to put what you budgeted for, and then that's going to cause you to be over budget on that, or under budget. So the difference column is very helpful because that'll let you know for December if it'll let you know if you over budget, under budget, or you're right on time, and that'll determine what you'll do for December. We try to budget for the following month in the middle. So what I like about Google is he can be in the bed, I can be over here, or we can be in Panera and McDonald's, and we'll just sit down. And whatever I make changes on the screen, he will be able to see on his laptop. It automatically updates all the time. Every time you change something, it'll update. So say like the $800 was a mistake, and let's say it was actually $330. So once you make that change, it's going to automatically update. As you can see, it's calculating the formulas because I have a formula in there. And then you go here. There you go. It's changed. So say like let's go to the form. Let's say, you did October sale $197. Oops. We didn't do anything for the business. You submit. There you go. There's the sale. But because it's October, it's not going to filter to November because I didn't have it set to filter for October. So you see the sale, it's not there. However, say like you really meant it for November, you could delete that and then start all over. But why delete it? Because the master sheet is very editable. That word is just stomping me. So you just put November. Then you go here and it's updating. And then 197. So that's how that works. And then whatever difference, if we have a surplus of a difference, it'll just go in our savings. We're just putting in our savings and then our savings will just grow. At the bottom, you can do the same thing for your business. You can have your business on the same sheet. For those of you that don't want to have multiple sheets at the bottom, or you can have your separate sheet. And then you can also have a separate sheet for your sales product, which I would probably want that on a separate sheet by itself anyways. But I just wanted to show you that. So even though I have Bramble and at 100, I don't have it filtered because I'm just showing you what you can do. I didn't actually, link my business to this. But, a couple of people asked to showcase how you would do it. So whatever formulas you have for your home-based business, you can do it for your actual. So my mom loves this idea and she wants me to tailor it to her. So I told her to text me or email me her bills that she pays, because a lot of this she may not have. So why give her something like, health insurance and Mike needs funds. And she's not, she doesn't have all that. So I would tailor it to her. So I would start deleting things that is not on her list. And then when you get down to the business, because she is a hairstylist, I would take all that out except for maybe Walmart and put Sally's, a beauty supply store, Walmart, whatever places that she gets her supplies, I would go here. And then if she has money left over and she needs to budget for her business, she can. So definitely doable, and easy, and very, very, very easy. And then also you can do your yearly. So you see your yearly is right there. That black line is very irritating. That looks so much better. Okay, so yeah, so there you go, 330. Did I have something else? Oh, and the cell phone. So right now, what I am total amount is $527. I haven't, we haven't had an actual paycheck come in yet, so there's nothing up here. I also set it to where if you hide any of the months down here, but you want to see like, oh man, what was, November, then you just hover over and click on the link and it'll bring up the monthly breakdown for November or December or whatever month that you're wanting to go back to. Or you can just have it all at the bottom if you're that type and do that as well. So I just wanted to show you what I've been working on and how I can tailor to your soaping. I hope this really, really helps. If it's, too confusing or too many steps or things like that, that's perfectly fine. This is just what makes sense for me and my boyfriend. So it may not work for you, and that's okay. But this is just a sample of how you can, do your forms and link it to an Excel type situation, and go from there. So if you have any questions and comments or you need help, just comment below and I will respond as soon as possible. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I hope you have a wonderful night.